What is up, bike guys and bike girls? It is your host, Bike Guy Alex, back with another bike video. Today, we're going to be tackling building up a fixed gear as fast as possible. So, for today's bike build, we will be converting this 80s Repco road bike frame into a beautiful fixed gear bike. The purpose of this video was to one, see how fast I could build up a fixed gear, and two, to show everybody how easy it is to build a fixed gear from parts that you can find at your local co-op, as well as how easy it is to convert a vintage road bike into a stunning fixed gear ripper of a bike. So let's dive into it. So yes, we do have this 80s Repco road bike frame. Repco was a prominent bike manufacturer here in Australia throughout the 80s and 90s. So Repco is a classic bike for Australia. This one did not have any decals, but is a beautiful gradient colorway all the way from the back in that pink tone through the reds and oranges into the yellows and then all the way into the white. So I knew I had to use this frame for my fixed gear conversion. So when doing a vintage road bike into a fixed gear conversion, you're going to need four specific things to make this happen. Number one, you're going to need a single speed front chainring. Single speed front chainrings are different than your normal front chainring that would just go onto any road bike or any mountain bike. Your normal front chainring is more oval. And with a more oval front chainring, you're going to run into issues of your single speed bike having the chain jump off. This is really dangerous, especially if you run a brakeless fixed gear. So to ensure that you don't have any chain jump and you're not losing your chain while riding your bike, you're gonna need a single speed front chainring. The second thing that you're going to need for this conversion is a fixed rear wheel. The fixed rear wheels tend to be more common than you would think. We tend to get a lot of fixed gear bikes that come through the bike shed that are pretty cheap and pretty junky, but these rear fixed wheels can be saved and salvaged and used into a conversion like this very easily. So your second thing that you're going to need is that fixed rear wheel. The third really important thing, and probably the most important thing when doing this conversion, is the bike frame itself is going to need horizontal dropouts. You need horizontal dropouts so that you can get that proper fixed gear chain tension. You can't have any chain slack to it, and it's really hard to run proper fixed gear bike with a chain tensioner. So you're really just going to want to have horizontal dropouts so you can get that proper chain tension on your bike. So make sure that whatever frame you choose to do your fixed gear conversion on, that it has some sort of horizontal dropouts to it. And finally, the fourth thing that you need for this conversion is a single speed chain. All chains are different and not all chains will work with a single speed front chainring or fixed rear wheel. So to make sure that your bike will end up running after you do this conversion, make sure that you get yourself a single speed chain. Now that we've covered everything that you'll need for your fixed gear bike build slash your vintage road bike to fixed gear conversion, it's time to talk through how easy this bike build really is. For this build, you don't really need to change out the bottom bracket from what came on this vintage road bike. The bottom brackets tend to have the proper spacing to it to function with a single front chainring with a proper chain line for fixed gear. You can use the same front wheel from the vintage road bike, and you don't have to do anything with it. You can keep the same wheel, same tire, and you're good to go. And then from that point, all you got to do is throw on that fixed rear wheel and single speed chain, and you have your fully built out single speed fixed gear vintage road bike conversion done. And that's exactly what I was able to do here. I picked out this 80s road bike frame by itself, then went through the bike shed and found all of the other pieces for it. I picked out a really cool older Mavic road bike wheel for the front wheel and just got one of the scrap fixed gear wheels for the back wheel. For the stem and bar combo, I ended up going with a classic down tilted arrow stem with the classic flat bars with it. For the front chainring, it again was just a random single speed front chainring that I pulled off of a junk fixed gear that was going to end up going to the tip. So ended up throwing that on to this bike for that fixed gear conversion. Ended up going with some Shimano 175 millimeter cranks and some random yellow metal pedals to match the frame. The one really cool thing about these pedals is that they do have slots for toe straps. So the owner in the future can throw some toe straps on this bad boy and get ready for some super fun skids. As for tires, we are running some gator skins up front. Gator skins are probably my favorite road bike tire, so gotta throw those on up front. And for the rear tire, I threw on a Bontrager rear tire. This one looked super fun because it looked super slick, so definitely has some awesome skid potential for the future owner of this bike. Yes, I realize that I do not have grips on this bike. It's because at the bike shed we have very limited selection of grips, so just ended up not throwing on any grips onto this bike. And we'll let the future owner of this beautiful fixed gear bike decide what grips they want to throw on it. For the seat post and seat, I just went with whatever seat post fit the bike. And for the seat, I went with this Cannondale seat that is a little bit more on the aero road bike side to kind of match the style of this frame and this build. And yeah, that's the build. And here's a video of me taking it for a quick test spin to make sure that everything works good and feels good. And it did. So here is another look at the details of this bike a bit closer. And yeah, that's all I've got for you today. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and we'll catch you in the next bike video. Bike guy out, baby.